What's going on, guys? Minnesotan here. Today I'm going to be showcasing my top 25 favorite games from the past decade. These are the 25 games that I found the most enjoyment from in the last 10 years, and they're listed in order from least to most enjoyable, but any game on this list I would highly encourage anyone check out and play if they haven't already. Leave a comment down below telling me some of the games that you played that weren't on my list, and maybe I can get to them. No game in the series has more than one entry, by the way, just to keep it fair. It was a little tough nailing it down because I did want to put some sequels to games in the series and have multiple entries, but decided to just have one iteration per saga. So now, without further ado, let's get into it. Number 25, A Way Out, Moby Games.
It's my plan, and I decide what goes down.
A Way Out is a co-op, puzzle-solving, action escape game designed by Moby Games. It centers around two prisoners who are trying to find a way out of prison, as the title implies. But the cool aspect about this game is that it is co-op required. You need to be playing with someone, whether it be online or next to you on the couch. I chose the latter and got this game for my dad for his birthday so we could play together. We did, and we beat it, and we had a blast doing so. If you want a fun co-op game to play with a buddy or family member, this is going to be right up your alley. Number 24, Risk of Rain 2, Hopo Games and Play Everywhere. Risk of Rain 2 is an indie game developed by Hopo Games and Play Everywhere. It centers around a character with unique abilities that you're trying to use to survive waves of monsters and aliens. You travel between worlds, and the further you progress, the harder the game gets. The main objective is to try and survive as long as possible, since there's really no end game. You can play by yourself or with others as well. If you're a fan of the wave survival game genre, I would recommend it to you. Number 23, Dishonored II, Arcane Studios. Building off of the success of its predecessor, Dishonored 2 does everything right, and more, when it comes to stealth games. First-person, spy, assassin type of game centers you, the player, taking control of two different characters, each with unique abilities, used to try and pull off heists and missions in a dystopian world. It is an extremely fun game, and if you like stealth games, this is definitely one to add to your library. Number 22, Sid Meier's Civilization V. Fireaxe Games, Aspire.
Civilization V earns its position as the ultimate strategy game experience and the finest civilization ever developed.
Fifth main installment in the Civilization series, Civilization V is the most intricate one yet. If you know the formula and you've played Civ games before, this one is going to be no different. Nothing much more to say than that. Civilization is a staple in the strategy game genre, and if you're a fan of strategy games, this is definitely one for you. Number 21, The Last of Us, Naughty Dog.
Get you killed.
Some of you might be surprised to see this entry so low on my list, and the main reason for that is that even after all these years, I've played the game, but I haven't played a lot of it. I haven't even completed it, really. I only started playing once the remaster came out years later, but regardless, it deserves all the praise it gets. It's a great stealth action game with a moving story, and Naughty Dog can do no wrong when it comes out to pushing these great titles. The Last of Us is a game to complete any PlayStation library, and I'm excited to see the sequel when it comes out. Number 20, Doom, Bethesda Game Studios, ID Software. Doom 2016 was praised when it came out with its simplistic gameplay, yet overhaul in terms of graphics. It's stunningly beautiful for a game where the main objective is just to kill demons. Doom goes back to its roots and pulls out all the stops in its 2016 iteration. If you enjoyed this one, Doom's 2020 Eternal is going to be certainly something you're going to want to have on your radar. Number 19. PT, Kojima Productions. PT is the scariest horror game you will ever play. I'm 100% serious. And I've played my fair share of horror games, yet not one of them has been able to replicate the feeling I had while playing PT. Kojima knows exactly what to do to make the player feel scared and uneasy in this 2014 entry. If you're looking for something to raise your heart rate, look no further than PT. Number 18. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Ubisoft Montreal.
Looks like he's blocking the main entrance.
Oh, I see the hostage. She's in the kids' room.
Ubisoft really does love to milk the cash cow that is Tom Clancy. Unfortunately for them, most of their attempts to re-envision his classic novels into video games have been pretty unsuccessful. However, that is not the case with Rainbow Six Siege. It's a tactically impressive game that reinvents the wheel for competitive FPS. A game easy to understand but extremely difficult to master, Rainbow Six takes the 18th spot on my list. Number 17. Destiny 2. Bungie.
The war's over.
I played very little of the original Destiny, but I did not make that same mistake with Destiny 2. I was never a huge fan of the MMO type of game genre, but Destiny 2 reeled me in with its expansive lore and great mechanics. Once you get your first legendary weapon, you just don't want to stop. Destiny 2 is a great game to play with your friends to grind together to get the best loot, or compete to get the top of the multiplayer leaderboards. Number 16. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Treyarch.
Computers. Robots. Unmanned.
The best Call of Duty game, in my opinion. I have such great memories of playing this with friends, and Black Ops 2 goes non-stop with each of its 3 categories. A memorable campaign, a thrilling zombies, and an incredible multiplayer. BO2 hits all the right targets when it comes to making a good Call of Duty game. I'm hoping this genre will be able to someday return to these roots to make what was once a beloved series by fans great again. Number 15. No Man's Sky, Hello Games. If you were like me back in 2016, you were nothing but excited for this game. A literal universe inside a video game is something that has never been done before. Hello Games was certainly pushing the envelope when it came to No Man's Sky. I even pre-ordered the special edition because I was so hyped for this game. Unfortunately, the release did not go as expected. Immediately, people were disappointed by missing features promised at the release of the game. It seemed like this was just going to be another written-off, quick cash grab. Fortunately for us, Hello Games trucked forward and pushed through the hate, and are now finally getting the recognition they deserve. No Man's Sky now in 2020 is an amazing game, with tons of features to explore and building that you never thought was possible. A great redemption arc to take the number 15 spot on my list. Number 14. Arkham City, Rocksteady Studios.
You knew we were no match for him!
The Batman franchise has had quite the run of successful games during its time as a AAA title. The one that stands out above all, however, is Arkham City. Developed by the profound Rocksteady Studios, the game makes you the Dark Knight. The combat is satisfying, and the gadgets and tech you acquire are loads of fun. Although I was a pretty big fan of Arkham Knight, City edges forward due to its unique game-changing and open-world design. Number 13. The Witcher 3, CD Projekt Red.
Don't meddle. Take the reward and let's go.
Help me!
Knew you witches wouldn't scorn Imperial gold.
Again, this may be surprising for an entry for this to be so low on my list, but in truth, I just haven't played that much of the game so far. I only have around 20 hours into The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, but so far I've been having a blast with it. It's no wonder this game gets so much praise. CD Projekt Red are doing everything right, and more when it comes to The Witcher 3. I'm hoping to try and play some more of the Wild Hunt and complete it in 2020. Number 12. Uncharted 4, A Thieves End. Naughty Dog.
Of all time is within our grasp.
Look, Nate, I'm gonna make you a one-time offer. Drop everything.
Naughty Dog comes up for the second time here on my list with its fourth and final main entry in the Nathan Drake saga. Although I do believe 2, Among Thieves, is an overall better game, A Thief's End still proves that Naughty Dog have what it takes to make an excellent Uncharted. Nathan Drake is back once again in a game with thrilling action and an incredible story. Uncharted is a series beloved by many, and deservedly so. Just about every game is praised for raising the bar even further when it comes to what makes Uncharted so much fun. Uncharted 4 has everything you could ask for in a fun action-adventure game. Number 11. Fallout 4, Bethesda Game Studios.
We do have.
Although disliked by many from its departure from the traditional elements of the Fallout series, Fallout 4 is still a great game that I had a ton of fun playing. I was going back and forth between using New Vegas or 4, but in the end, I'm happy with my decision. Although I'm still very fond of New Vegas, Fallout 4 is an improvement in many ways from its predecessor. Not only with the graphic overhaul, but the weapon customization, armor customization, and the gunplay were a breath of fresh air desperately needed in the series. I will agree that not everything done was executed perfectly in the series, and I do miss some elements from New Vegas, but it didn't stop me enjoying the game any less. I know we can't expect a new Fallout game anytime soon, but I'm hoping that Fallout 5, or whatever they call it, will blend together the most loved elements of each Fallout game. Number 10. Minecraft. Mojang.
Everything is made of blocks. Where the only limit is your imagination. Let's go wherever you want to go. Climb the tallest mountains.
Everyone watching this video has at least played Minecraft once. I mean, it's the best-selling video game of all time with over 180 million copies sold. Minecraft was something that never before was seen in the sandbox genre. The simplistic nature of collecting materials to build things, to collect more materials, to build more things. It's a simple style, and it's endless fun. There's so much to do. I mean, you can literally build computers in the game. I love so much about Minecraft that I can make an entire video on it, but I digress. If you haven't already tried this game, it's a must-have in any gamer's catalog. Number 9. Titanfall 2, Respawn Entertainment. Titanfall 2 is the most fun that I've had with a Respawn FPS since Black Ops 2. Titanfall is a fast-paced, futuristic shooter that combines elements of wall running, grappling, and giant self-piloted robots all into one great bundle. The game is criminally underrated, and if you haven't picked it up, it's super cheap, and you'll be having a blast playing it. Number 8. The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. Bethesda Game Studios.
But there's one they fear. In their tongue.
The pinnacle of all RPGs, Skyrim was the craze of the gaming community when it came out. Coupled alongside the amazing 11/11/11 release date, the 5th installment in the Elder Scrolls series takes us to the province of Skyrim, where we are the Dragonborn. Building off the success of the previous installments in the series, this game does everything right to make it worth your while playing this game. A classic that will be remembered for years to come. Number 7. Super Mario Galaxy 2, Nintendo. I couldn't make this list without adding some sort of Mario game into it. And believe me, it was hard just picking one. But when it came down to it, I just had so much fun playing this game when it came out. The Wii was revolutionary in the console industry. Everyone who was anyone and loved video games had a Wii. And I still remember the Christmas where we got one for our family. So many games were purchased to play on it. And I played the original Super Mario Galaxy thinking that it was nothing better. That was until 2 came out, and it changed everything. It innovated in so many different ways and concepts from the original. Plus, it has Yoshi. SMG 2 is one of the best titles the Wii has ever seen. Number 6. CounterStrike Global Offensive. Valve Software. The original Counter-Strike came out in 1999. This series is over 20 years old and still kicking. This game I put the most hours into, with just over 2,500 recorded on my Steam account. CSGO is the pinnacle when it comes to competitive FPS. Easy to learn, but almost impossible to master. I will always consider it the most skillful FPS and the most fun esport to watch. Number 5. God of War. Santa Monica Studios.
There are consequences to killing a god.
Why? How do you know? How do you know?
What hasn't already been said about this game? It is a top-tier entry in the genre of single-player games. God of War is perfect in just about every single way. A great story, tagged alongside a great combat and customization, makes this one of the best entries in the single-player genre to date. Number 4. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Nintendo. The Smash series isn't one that I was particularly invested in until I got my Switch. Once that happened, I couldn't wait for a Smash game to be released. I still remember waiting in line at GameStop with my roommate during the midnight release of Smash Ultimate. I think during that first weekend, I put like 40 hours into the game between the multiplayer and single player. Super Smash Bros. Was a hit for me, and will be for anyone who loves fighting games and party games as well. Number 3. Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar.
You've got to keep.
Rockstar are among one of the greats when it comes to pumping out titles, and they surely did it this time with Red Dead Redemption 2. An immense open world set during the height of the Western modernization in 1899, it is a perfect setting to be in. Playing as Arthur and interacting with all his companions during the story was so enjoyable. I barely walked away from my PlayStation once the game came out. One of the best open world games of all time, and a worthy successor to the original RDR. Number 2. Middle-earth Shadow of War. Monolith Productions. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor was a super cool and somewhat unexpected game to come out. Being a ranger on the edge of Mordor, assassinating Uruks, and making friends and enemies was something that I never thought I'd love so much. The stakes were raised with Shadow of War. The second entry in the series takes us all across Middle-earth to conquer different cities with our own army of Uruks at our side. The Nemesis system is what makes the game so much fun. Seeing all the different types of personalities of Uruks in the different regions is something that you don't want to miss out on. One of my favorite games of all time. Number 1. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Nintendo. Well, here we are. The number 1 spot. And honestly, it wasn't hard for me to pick. The Legend of Zelda is my favorite game series of all time. I've talked about it on this channel many times about my theories of the sequel, and I don't think I've truly expressed how much fun I had with the original game. I was introduced to Zelda during Twilight Princess, and since then I've fallen in love with each game in the series. Breath of the Wild completely rewrites everything you think you know about Zelda and plops you into a world full to explore. There's hundreds of different areas, dozens of different side quests, and 900 Korok seeds. Breath of the Wild easily tops all other games as my favorite of the decade. I'm excited to see what 2020 brings us with the Zelda franchise. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content similar to this. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. If you haven't already, make sure to check out my top 25 albums of the decade. That's going to be it for me. But until then, I'll see you all next time.